Hello friends, today we will discuss about the cardiovascular system. Cardio मतलब heart, vascular means blood vessels. The heart pumps the blood and the blood vessels transport the nutrients and oxygen to tissues and remove the waste product from our tissue. Circulatory system. It is a system that transports nutrients, respiratory gases like carbon dioxide and oxygen, and metabolic products throughout a living organism, permitting the interaction among the various tissues of our body. The process of circulations includes the intake of metabolic materials and the conveyance of these materials throughout the organism and the return of harmful byproducts such as carbon dioxide to the environment. Function. There are various functions of the cardiovascular system. The first one is the transport of nutrients and hormone. Second one is the removal of waste product, gaseous exchange, immunity, blood vessels that transport blood which carries oxygen and carbon dioxide and also carries nutrients and wastes from different part of our body. Heart pumps the blood throughout the blood vessels. The cardiovascular system is the transporting system of our body. It consists of three main components, that is blood, heart and blood vessels. The conveying medium is the blood which flows in close association with the tubular system of our body. कार्डियोवास्कुलर सिस्टम के तीन कंपोनेंट होते हैं. द फर्स्ट वन इज द ब्लड, सेकेंड वन इज द हार्ट and third one is the blood vessels. So first we will discuss about the blood. The blood is slightly alkaline. उसका pH 7.35 to 7.45 होता है. It constitutes about 20% of the extracellular fluid. The blood is consist of two components. The first one is the formed element, which is about three varieties. The first one is the erythrocyte or RBC, जिसका मेन फंक्शन है ट्रांसपोर्ट ऑफ ऑक्सीजन एंड कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड. सेकेंड वन इज द ल्यूकोसाइट और द व्हाइट ब्लड सेल्स विच आर इन्वॉल्व इन द इम्यून डिफेंस. थर्ड वन इज द थ्रोम्बोसाइट्स और द प्लेटलेट्स जो कि ब्लड क्लटिंग में हेल्प करते हैं. द सेकेंड कंपोनेंट ऑफ ब्लड इज द ब्लड प्लाज्मा विच इज ए फ्लूइड पोर्शन दैट कंटेन द डिजॉल्व्ड सब्सटेंस. So these are the component of the blood. These are the white blood cells which are involved in the immune defense, platelets which help in the blood clotting. These are the RBC which are involved in the transportation of oxygen and carbon dioxide. This is the fluid portion of the blood which is known as the plasma. This is the blood vessels. The formed element, that is WBC, RBC and platelets, is constitute about 45%, whereas the plasma alone constitute about 55% of the blood. Function of blood. The main function of blood is the transportation of oxygen, carbon dioxide, nutrients, hormones, heat and waste. Secondly, it regulates the pH, body temperature and water content of the cells. Thirdly, it protects against the blood loss by clotting and also against the diseases by phagocytic activity of the WBCs. The second one is the heart. It is the functional unit of our circulatory system. It is the central pumping organ. The heart is made up of specialized cardiac muscles tissue that allow it to act as pump within the circulatory system. In human, it is fourth chamber. It is a hollow muscular organ, approximately the size of our fist. The heart is surrounded and protected by the pericardium. Pericardium जो होता है इसको protect करता है. Then the location of the heart. It is located in the thoracic cavity behind the sternum, in front of the windpipe, the esophagus, and the descending aorta between the lungs and the above the diaphragm. About 2/3 of the heart lies to the left of the midline. Then the location of the heart. हार्ट जो रहता है वो थोरेसिक चैम्बर में रहता है, बिहाइंड द स्टर्नम, इन फ्रंट ऑफ द फुटवाइक, और ये दोनों लंग्स के बीच में रहता है, टुवर्ड्स द लेफ्ट साइड ऑफ द मिड लाइन. देन द लेयर्स ऑफ द हार्ट वॉल. जो हार्ट का वॉल रहता है वो 3 डिफरेंट लेयर रहता है. द आउटर मोस्ट लेयर इज नोन एज द एपिकार्डियम, which is also known as the visceral pericardium. The middle layer is known as the myocardium and the innermost layer is known as the endocardium. और जो पेरिकार्डियम जो कि हार्ट को प्रोटेक्ट करता है, इट्स कंसिस्ट ऑफ फाइब्रस पेरिकार्डियम and the parietal pericardium, and the cavity present between them is known as the parietal cavity. The epicardium is continuous with the visceral layer of the serous parietal pericardium. The myocardium is the middle layer which consists of muscles of the heart, which are involuntary striated cardiac muscles made up of dividing and recombining fibers that allow contraction. The innermost layer, that is the endocardium, forms the inner lining of the heart, and the flaps of the endocardium forms the valves of the heart. Structure of the heart. In human, 4-chamber heart is present. 1, 2, 3 and 4. It consists of 2 atrium, right atrium, left atrium, and right ventricle and the left ventricle. The valve present between the atrium and the ventricle is known as the atrioventricular valve, and there is 2 semilunar valve, that is, one is present between the right ventricle and pulmonary artery, and the second one is present between the left ventricle and the aorta. This is the pulmonary artery, this is the pulmonary vein, this is the posterior vena cava and the anterior vena cava, which receives the deoxygenated blood from the different part of our body. Then the function of the heart. Generating blood pressure, rotating blood in different parts of our body, ensuring the one-way flow of the blood, that is, the valves which are present in the heart ensure the one-way flow of the blood. It regulates the blood supply, change in the contraction rate and force match blood deliveries to changing the metabolic needs. Then the third one is the blood vessels. The blood vessels are the closed network of tubes that carries the blood. It includes arteries, capillaries and the veins. The arteries carry blood away from the heart, capillaries permit the exchange of material with the tissues, and the veins that return blood from the capillaries to the heart. Then the arteries. Arteries are known as the distributing channel. They have thick walled tubes because the blood flowing in the arteries have very high blood pressure. Then the elastic fibers which allow stretching and absorb the pressure. Capillaries, they are the microscopic vessels which permit the gaseous exchange. They have microscopic tube with 1 cell thick. They are extremely narrow to permit sufficient gaseous exchange. Then the veins, they are the draining channel which drain the deoxygenated blood from different parts of our body. They are thin walls, large lumen, and they are less resistant to blood flow because the blood pressure in vein is very low. Arteries are the blood vessels that carry blood away from the heart. They are the thickest blood vessels and it consists of oxygenated blood except the pulmonary artery. Pulmonary artery को छोड़ के बाकी जितने भी arteries हैं वो oxygenated blood carry करते हैं. It consists of veins and nerves. Arteries do not have valves. Arteries do not require valves because the blood pressure in the arteries is very strong and the blood will only flow in one direction. बैक फ्लो का कोई चांसेस ही नहीं रहता है, इसीलिए आर्टरीज में वाल्व नहीं रहता है. The arteries have repeated branching and the lumen of the arteries is very small. Then the capillaries. It is the smallest blood vessels that connects the arteries and the veins. It is the site where the gaseous exchange and nutrients exchange takes place. These are the fine network of capillaries that connects the arteries and the last one is the vein. Blood vessels that carry blood back to the heart are called the veins. They have very wide lumen to maximize the blood flow for more effective return. They have thin wall which consist of less muscles and more elastic fiber, as the blood which are flowing in the veins have very low pressure. Since the veins have very low pressure, the vein possess valves to prevent the backflow of the blood. जबकि जो ब्लड वेन्स में फ्लो करता है उसका प्रेशर बहुत लो होता है, तो वहाँ पे valves रहते हैं so that the blood will flow only in the one direction. It prevents the backflow. Thank you.